We begin with the extreme weather we're seeing in both the east and out west.
Yeah, in the Northeast, summer storms unleashed torrential rain, stranding motorists in Philadelphia, collapsing roofs in Rhode Island. While in the West, brutally hot and dry conditions are smashing records and fueling deadly wildfires. With most of California under a heat alert, officials there are urging people to reduce their power use, warning that the power grid cannot withstand the demand. NBC News meteorologist Michelle Grossman will have the latest forecast for us in a moment, but we want to start with NBC News correspondent Steve Patterson, who is in Burbank, California. Steve, good morning. I mean, this heat wave in California has gone on for more than a week now, and there is real concern over the power grid there. What's the latest?
Yeah, Joe, the first thing I have to say is that by no means is this over. These emergency alerts, this extreme weather expected to last at least the remainder of the week, with the alerts not expiring until about Friday night. But the next thing I have to say is that if there was a decisive battle in Alamo, Helms Deep, it would have been the late hours of last night. And by and large, California officials say thanks almost primarily to the conservation of its citizens, we avoided rolling blackouts last night. But man, were we close. We were at an emergency alert 3 sometime around 6 o'clock or so last night. And emergency alert 3 is when the demand outstrips the supply of the grid. Had we made an emergency alert 4, that would have been a total capsation of the system. That would have meant rolling blackouts across the state, which you can imagine would be its own dangerous situation. But we got one of those alerts on your phone, almost like, getting an Amber Alert where it just takes over your whole phone sometime around 6 o'clock last night as well. That was from California officials. Those officials say almost immediately after that, they saw the numbers drop. Those conservation numbers went up. The numbers of energy usage came down immediately. That saved us. That saved us from those rolling blackouts. The citizens listened to the demand, listened to what was going on, and they made a change. I wish I could say that would mean it's not going to be hot again today and tomorrow and the next day. It's still a very, very dangerous situation, but we made it out of one of the worst scenarios possible.
Yeah, if only Californians could actually control the temperature by their energy use. Yeah. I mean, this is one of those times when you need air conditioning, you need energy. Yes. So what are officials saying about how to stay safe while also reducing their energy use?
Well, I mean, obviously, you don't want to be out in this whatsoever for any length of time. And if you are, you have to stay hydrated. It is so, so crucial. And if you feel anything, if the sweat that normally is just pouring down at all times stops, that means you're in an early phase of heat stroke and they tell you to get indoors. Conservation, though, is really the big deal here. This is not over. I have to say it over and over again. So using your appliances in those crucial hours, anytime between 4 and 10 p.m. It's called a flex alert. They're telling people just to help us out. You have to stop that because, if you keep doing that, the grid will get overloaded. We'll get to a situation in which, they could think about rolling blackouts. That's not good for anybody. I want to tell you, we broke the record for energy usage despite all of this last night. 52,000 megawatts. That's never happened before in California history. We did it, and we did it without, a huge disaster.
Steve, it's hard to imagine being a firefighter in this heat. They're facing multiple wildfires, including one in SoCal. It's called the Fairview Fire. It's killed 2 people. Quickly, what's the latest on that one?
Yeah, we expect another briefing this morning, maybe in about an hour and a half or so. But, it remains still only 5% contained or so, 2,400 acres. That number will go up. 7 homes destroyed. That number inevitably will go up. We're expecting to learn a little bit more about how this happened and the 2 people that became trapped and unfortunately lost their lives in that fire.
All right, Steve Patterson reporting from California. Steve, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.